护国，中央人民政府今天胜利了。
但是你们难道
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，无可有奉告，我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到，一定要做好准备。
是。
干死共产党！干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Exposing the CCP. We're going to continue our job, our role to expose the truth regarding the Chinese Communist Party. And today we're going to still discuss some interesting topic with Mr. True and also Chris. Good morning.
Good morning, good evening.
Good morning.
And it's always a good time, happy time for me to be invited. So thank you, and we're going to continue exposure CCP about the virus, vaccines, disaster. Thank you.
And I'm happy to see Z and Mr. true007. And happy to be on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. As Mr. True's already mentioned, we're going to discuss about the vaccine. I mean, it's been a topic that we have discussed many times because so far I can feel the pain and disaster around me. Not sure why, I don't know, by you guys in the United States, a lot of locations, there's a lot of weird diseases, bacteria, or unknown viruses, so-called mutations, and a lot of people fell sick around me. It's pretty scary. I might work from home this week, but probably can't go. Anyway, so we're going to talk about why the CCP use this, and there's also a shocking news. Probably everybody say Senator Graham just recently passed away suddenly because of cardio diseases, and we're going to discuss about. There might be some connection, there might be not, but we'll find out. So let's watch out the video from Miles Gore's warning back in 2021 when the vaccine was first to roll out, and let's see what he warned us about.
In the CCP's biological war, using COVID-19 and its vaccines, the vaccine is the centerpiece and the main course, and COVID-19 is just a tool. Once the virus is released, there is nothing to stop it. Even after you have contracted the virus, you think you've recovered from the infection, or you think your body will recover soon after you get the vaccine jabs, but actually you will continue to be positive for the COVID infection. So if a single individual in the US harbors the virus, the CCP will leverage this to exponentially amplify it, given that the majority of individuals have received vaccinations. Repeated promotion of the vaccine will lead to the unstoppable evolution of the coronavirus into new variants. According to the various methods used in the manufacture of these vaccines, the CCP can make people who they do not like and want to eliminate or who pose a threat to them sick or die. In this biological war, the new federal state of China is the only group awakened in the world. There are no other ones. You should not overestimate individuals in Australia or the United States because they are too naive. When I first began whistleblowing in 2017, I came to the conclusion that Americans are too high. They're too noble. They have lived a good life for too long that their ability to recognize and identify evil nations has changed.
And yeah, hopefully you realize that this vaccine rollout has been well planned and premeditated or constructed conspiracy against humanity. And there's so many side effects, so many unknown things about this vaccine. And still yet, there's no public doubt against the vaccine in the mainstream media. But Miles Guo was very brave. He was the earliest one who stood out to warn the public about the CCP's evil plan and also the dark forces in the world. And maybe that's why he's still persecuted and by the CCP and also by sellouts in the United States. And but hopefully you haven't suffered from this side effects or adverse events from this toxic virus, bioweapon virus, and the vaccine. And let's go to Chris for some introduction and discussions. Please go ahead, Chris.
Okay, thank you. So the virus and the vaccines are like submunitions. A mother bomb carrying child bombs. A mother bomb carrying child bomblets. The virus is not the goal. The virus is merely the means. The real purpose of this disaster is to get humanity to take the poisoned vaccines. The virus is a bioweapon. Virus originating from the CCP. It was an intentional long-term plan by the CCP through the blue, gold, yellow tactics, which is cyber espionage, bribery, and honey traps. They took down America's selling traitors such as Fauci. And the CCP obtained the manufacturing method for this bioweapon. International dark forces, through that cooperating with the CCP, would bring them benefits, but in reality, they handed the CCP the weapons to destroy their enemies. The CCP does not only eliminate its enemies, the CCP will also turn on and eliminate even stronger temporary partners. People who have not been vaccinated, if infected with the CCP virus, for example, through shedding, still need to detox even after they recover. This is even more true for those who received the toxic vaccines. They especially need to detox because the amount of CCP virus inside the toxic vaccines is extremely high. The CCP virus also has more than 1,200 side effects. This is the real reasons behind the rise in turbo cancer and abnormal sudden deaths. Toxic vaccines all have patch numbers. The side effects of each patch are not necessarily the same. Vaccination records are kept. So by tracking the patch number, you can trace back exactly which patch of toxic vaccines a person received. Once the patch number is known, specific individuals can be tracked and targeted, induce cancer, heart attack, strokes, or sudden death. It sounds very sci-fi, but this is the level of effect that modern bioweapon viruses can achieve. Targeted elimination of specific people for political purposes. This is also part of unrestricted warfare. So combined with media unrestricted warfare, mainstream media refuse to investigate the real cause behind heart failure, heart attacks, strokes, and sudden death. Social media platforms delete posts that reveal the truth about toxic vaccines, diverting the audience attentions away from seeking the truth and shifting it elsewhere. They flood viewer with large amounts of useless information to weaken their cognitions. Ordinary people have limited time and energy in a day and don't have the capacity to dig for the truth. They are easily misled by mainstream media's fake news. Most people never even consider that this method of control exists, nor do they imagine that a group of self-proclaimed elites could have such dark thoughts and intentions. They never thought their own kindness and relaxed attitude could be exploited, allowing fake news to slip in and brainwash the public, distorting their perceptions. As a result, people get injured with toxic vaccines without realizing anything is wrong. Even when side effects appears and they eventually died, they still don't know who or what harmed them. They certainly are not able to connect dots between the CCP virus, toxic vaccines, and communism. Nor will they realize that the ultimate goal is to control all of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris, for telling the history about the vaccine. I think a lot of people were hesitant, but because they were forced, basically. If you don't take it, you may lose your job, you may lose your, I don't know, reputations and fame and other things. So it was definitely a punishment to a lot of people who have taken it, unfortunately. And let's go to Mr. True for more details, and we can come back for some more share.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for your information. And yeah, the main point is that if you don't take the vaccination, which has not been lably tested, for the side effect, okay, it only come out, indeed, the mRNA technology was actually patented a few years, if not a few months, but it's a few years ahead of for the virus being released. So, which means someone has to take advantage of the virus, and the vaccination come out, someone's benefit from it. So it's not too difficult to find out then who is the ultimate beneficiary. I mean, we know that they are, the big fund like Vanguard, okay, and the CCP's fund, those big guys, okay, together they control the vaccination patent, and then the result is people dying, and people get terrible cancer, okay, and people get brain fog, and infertility, okay, premature birth defects, you name it. And if you already have some, foundational health issue, then that issue will be overly exaggerated, okay, and accelerate. And very quickly, people have like white lungs, and they just die. And then you go to ICU. What happens? They give you drugs, which make you die quickly as well. And those days, we see the alarms through those, around our suburbs are so many, and you never see so many alarms. You're driving on the road. There's a few of those, vans going on trying to collect people. They just couldn't handle it, so they got an emergency. Then you find the emergency department, the ICU is not insufficient. So if you can remember those disasters, are just unbelievable. Police come to your food court and check, make sure you wear the masks, because the Fuchi said, within 5 meters, you must wear mask, otherwise you could pass. But the truth was found out if you wear the mask, you have much less can take oxygens, and then your lung will give up and die even suddenly more often. So those are the cases, and so many doctors themselves also encouraged to vaccination up to 85% of patient pool. If you can do that, then you get, monetary reward. So I remember my GP actually, when I go to regular health checks, and they say, you have not vaccinated, so why not you vaccinate yourself? This is a family doctor, GP. I say, it's a biological weapon. You say, you should not. So anyway, then after 6 months, I went for another check. They said, the doctors told me that you should have the vaccination. Then I met the chief nurse in the clinic. It's a big clinic. And then I have a chat with her about the testing results that I'm going to see the doctor for. And the nurse told me that she is not vaccinated. And I remember this about like 3:30, 4 o'clock. There's a 10 years old a girl there. I said, is that your daughter? They said, yes. I said, has she been vaccinated? She said, no. What about you? He said, no, I'm not going to get vaccinated. So a nurse working full-time in the clinic is not getting vaccinated. And doctor keep telling me. Then finally I got to see the doctor. He told me I should. In why? Because I even know the doctor's family very well, because our two families, we, long-term relationship. He said, my son, Michael, he's now a GP, registered. He even get vaccinated. That's why you should get vaccinated. I said, what the logic is that? I mean, you can get vaccinated knowingly it's going to, probably not knowingly kill you, but they still get. There's so many doctors, okay? That's why we have a big doctors shortage and the nurses. I also have a friend who is working as the chief, nurse in charge of ICU. He told me he witnessed so many deaths. I said, did you get vaccinated? He said, no, there's no way. So in the end, he resigned. He didn't want to do the work, otherwise he get pushed to get the vaccination. So these are personal experiences. I mean, so it makes it very real. But then why do we have to get that? So it is the media together, all the fake news, and the brainwashing. If we try to, Miles Gore is the person who come out and warn people about it first in the world, that you should never get vaccinated because this is a biological weapon, okay? And pushed by the CCP. And of course, CCP and it's alike, globalists who want to have a population plan for us. I think now so many main media X, for example, Getter, you see so many talk about it, and the main doctors like Dr. McLeod is really a great physician who have told us so many things about truth. Okay. Also, the information also told through New Federal State of China. Angel doctor, she been tirelessly talking about her clinical experiences, especially people in China called her and she advised how to, manage using ivermectin and artemisinin to control the side effect. Indeed, I think most of us are taking regular antidotes. Okay, as Miles Gore told us. So this is how we've been carefully and trying to not to get to do those things, those not get pushed. But that's a lot of struggle, you know. If you, I remember when we were fighting on the social media about it, right? We, you know, each of us bought like a 10 SIM card. Why? Because Twitter continuously silence our account, shut down account. We talk about the vaccination and disaster and antidote of ivermectin and artemisinin. Both are derived from natural ingredients. Okay, and the inventor, both, you know, a Japanese physician and also a Chinese scientist, who is a Chinese Herbal Medicine Research Academy of CCP, and they both won the Nobel Prize for their contribution to derive such a. There's no one person get killed or side affected by taking them if taking the proper dose, and then the result is like a worm, you know, worm killing. But they got a lot of properties. Okay, so vaccination, especially COVID-19 virus, and with the side effect with these, you know, suppressed body functions and so on. So it's very, very good. There's so many different court cases going on now. People have been injured, and people have been really treated badly. I think President Trump talking about that a lot about that. He's very proud that he warned people not to, you know, the CCP's virus and so on. But I think really the accountability now got to be in place for those fake media and brainwashed massively about the, you know, population, why you should take it. Okay, so there's a lot of work to be done. I think humanity, if not learned through justice, through holding those, you know, force behind the vaccination and the virus, such as the China accountable, then there will be no hope for him. I think we saw Trump administration been doing a lot of work trying to hold the CCP accountable, and they also admitted that the Fauci is the ones who give money, also give the mRNA technology and gain of function research, help the Chinese military P4 lab in Wuhan. We invented that. And there's Wang Yanye, the director of Wuhan P4 lab, and with Dr. Fauci as well. The relationship is also, I think, suspicious. So I think we should have, you know, the government should take a leadership and make the truth present to the justice. It need to be done. Accountability need to be done in order to repair the damage of our humanity as a, you know, human race on the planet, so we can move into the next of our civilizations. So for which we must take down the CCP, because it's called CCP virus, vaccination disaster. That's why without holding CCP accountable, there won't be truth in any peace in the world as well. So let's hope very soon CCP, out of that accountability, you know, they committed genocide into humanity, they should be held accountable. That's what I have to say. Thank you very much. Get back to the place.
100%. The most important thing is we need to learn from the lesson. Otherwise, we cannot avoid this to happen again. And although history just repeats itself, but still, hopefully this time we'll learn and avoid the CCP to, you know, innate another bioweapon war against the world. We know that the CCP, after the CCP virus was released, their P4 lab are still active. And also they collaborated or colluded with a lot of bioweapon labs in the Middle East, like Miles Guo's intelligence has shown in the Southeast Asia, other part of the world. Who knows what's going to happen? And considering the humanity can't afford another bioweapon war. We gotta stop the CCP as soon as possible, and also hold them accountable to make sure even they are going to perform any dangerous biological, like these bioweapon related research, not bioweapon, but gain of function related research, has to be monitored and has to be clearly transparent to the public so that we all know what they're doing. And I know there's some good news, right? A few weeks ago, Fauci, there's some evidence showing he has some connections with CCP. Also, Miles have warned back in 2022 many times. Hopefully, there are going to be investigation to find out the sellouts in the United States and the CCP and hold them accountable together for this disaster. And there are also some information regarding the antidote in the NFC and also Getter Media. But please refer to your family doctor or professional medicines for more suggestions. So hopefully you and your family, your friends, your loved ones will stay safe before we take down the CCP. All right, so I think pretty much what I said. We have a few more minutes, and before wrapping up, maybe Chris and Mr. True, you can just say a few more about this, and maybe let's start with Chris this time. Chris, go ahead, please.
Okay, so in the video, Mr. Miles Guo has said people in the Western world are sometimes too high-minded and too noble. And we also know that President Trump also has said that it is a vicious world. In fact, they are talking about the same thing. They are also reminding the public that there are very evil people in this world. The public needs to wake up and can no longer continue tolerating the CCP and the traitors who cooperate with them. So we need to fight back and take down CCP. Thank you.
Exactly. So it has been very clear that the CCP in Wuhan lab, through the China biological weapon lab, with Dr. Fauci's gain of function research, technology, they have together and mastered was talking about from the bat, from the 007 bat, which is a hoax. Later on, find out the truth was that they were doing the gain function research, and also they have put many other biological agents such as snakes, virion, and different viruses into it, in order to get the get the population in trouble. There was all this information. So if you want to learn more, then I'm sure that once Miles Guo come out, they can testify on Congress his information. Before, he told us that he got the 2 lawyers who said, if I'm in danger, then they're going to release the Pandora's box. Not that it's only one of it. It's not all. I was shocked. The truth was shocked the whole world. I mean, with all the intelligence information, like communications, emails, as well as videos, and so on. So let's hope Miles Guo will come out very quickly, and then more truth, more concrete truth will be known with evidence, which will hold those guys like the CCPs and those bad people who promoted benefits from it accountable. We haven't seen much of that in a large scale yet, so yet to be taken. I think maybe Iran war, that'll be the CCP next one. And that could be the main reason they have really harmed population in a massive scale with evil intentions, no doubt. Let's take down CCP. Thank you for watching. See.
All right, thank you very much. Let's end this one with taking down the Chinese Communist Party, and we'll see you next week for more news. Please stay tuned, and NFSC will continue to fight against this CCP misinformation and also this bioweapon war. We're going to take them down together quickly. See you next time.
Thank you.
Take down CCP.
Take down CCP.
Take down CCP.
Yeah. 3 years ago today, Miles Guo And Miles did more than any single person to warn the United States of America about the threat of the Chinese Communist Party. The one thing Miles did that I think was most brilliant when he came to the West was he would tell people constantly, you've got this basically wrong, and you keep saying it wrong. You say that it's China, or like the Chinese people. You are not at war. The existential threat to the United States of America is not the nation of China, and it is certainly not Lao Beijing. It's not the Chinese people. The threat, the existential threat to the United States of America and the citizens of America, and this threat is the number one threat, nothing else compares to it, is the Chinese Communist Party, because that is also the number one threat to the Chinese people. And Miles would go over his way to say, hey, look, there's been 400 to 400, he would actually say 400 to 500 million forced abortions, 80% of little baby girls, in addition to at least you can calculate 250 million outright murders, executions, starvation that they've done. So you could add up close to 600, 700, 750 million of their own citizens they've slaughtered. They've slaughtered. He says no dictatorship in the world, no regime in the world, no imperial power in the world against their own people has been this savage. So how do you think they're going to be with you? So today you're commemorating the new federal state with programming throughout the day of Miles Guo of 3 years since he was basically kangaroo courted to make sure that they shut him up as an asset to call out the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party and to speak the truth to power and tell the American people exactly what the Chinese Communist Party has in store for the Chinese people and the United States. Hang on 1 second. I just want to make sure. There's two reasons. One, the CCP fears him, but Miles was also absolutely instrumental in making sure people got access to and understood the depth of Hunter Biden's association with the Chinese Communist Party. As President Trump said and everybody said, if this was fully known, and remember, the FBI got the laptop from hell in November of 2019. If Chris Wray and Barr had come forward where you had this material, which in a 10-minute cursory review, because Rudy and Bob O'Connor brought me into this to view it, you realize how deep there, and that was in July of August, I think, of 2020. You realize how deep the Biden family's corruption is with the Chinese Communist Party. And then the intelligence community, the deep state, lied and went to the New York Times and wrote a big letter and said this was all Russian disinformation. We know all that's a lie. It was Miles Guo that was absolutely essential in making sure that that got platformed to all of his platforms, and also more details than any Westerner would know. We knew you could look at the documents and read through it as we did and promoted on War Room and other places. It's one of the reasons they came after us, but they really had to take Miles out. So it's not just calling out the CCP. He called out the Biden absolute corruption and sellout to the Chinese Communist Party, of which the deep state then lied about, came out and bald-faced lied about it. And Biden bald-faced lied about it on the debate. And there's absolutely no chance that Biden would have even been able to steal the presidency if that had been fully exposed as it should have been and not thwarted by the deep state's media figure.